Without further ado, I would like to bring up the founder of Say Detroit. You know him as a columnist, long time in Detroit, as an author, as a philanthropist, and as a great addition to the city of Detroit when he came here back in the 80s. I'd like to introduce Mr. Mitch Albom.
Thank you. Thank you, Rick, and thank all of you for coming out here today. It's kind of overwhelming when I look at what has happened here, and I think that 20 years ago, the Super Bowl was here in Detroit, and I read a story about a party for the homeless that they were going to have during the Super Bowl, a Super Bowl party for the homeless. And I didn't understand what that was, and when I looked into it, I found out that it was a euphemism for taking all the homeless people off the streets and hiding them from the customers who were coming in for the Super Bowl. And then on Monday morning, when all those customers were gone, kicking them back out into the street. And I thought that was cruel, because I don't think you help people when it's convenient for you. You help people when they need it. And so I went down to the Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries. Chad Audi is here today. And he was kind enough to set me up to spend the night at a homeless shelter. And I went down there to write a story about what it means to spend a night at a homeless shelter and why you don't just give that to someone and then take it away. And I've told this story before, but while I was online at that homeless shelter, I got the blanket, I got the bar of soap, I got my bed assigned, and I was waiting for the meal, and there was a guy in front of me. And he turned around, he looked me over, up and down, he said, "Aren't you Mitch Albom?" I said, "Yeah." And then he looked me up and down again, he said, "So what happened to you?" Yeah, I laughed too. Also thought about getting a new wardrobe. But from that sentence, I realized he had every right to ask me that question, because why should I be so lucky that I wouldn't end up on a line at some point? Many of the people online during those years never thought that they would be on a line at a homeless shelter. You remember 2006, 7, 8, 9? A lot of people who used to dole out soup were on the other end of it after things went south and the mortgage crisis and all that. And so I never forgot that line. And I ended up coming back and writing a column about it and asking if we could raise enough money to keep the people in the homeless shelters until it got warmer in April. I was looking for $60,000, and I had, in 1 week, $320,000 from the people of Detroit and Michigan. And with that $320,000, I started something called Say Detroit, which stands for Super All Year Detroit, instead of Super One Weekend, which you would think a writer would come up with something better than that. But and to think that from that one night online at a homeless shelter that we have grown into the kind of organization that could even attempt something like this is truly humbling. And believe me, it isn't one person or even 2 or 3 people, it's all this type of help. So let me say here now, if you've ever played basketball during the 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s in Detroit, then you will confirm that we are standing on hallowed ground. St. Cecilia's, the Saint, was where players came to prove themselves, where competition was a sword, and many a college or even pro career was sharpened right here by its edges. But this building in this area is more than a place to play hoops. It was the center of a community once, the court and its church and the school building. And like many communities in our beloved city, it's had its share of hard times and challenges. But today we stand here at a turning point. And I don't say that with hubris. I say it the best way that a charity can say anything, from experience. More than 10 years ago, the mayor of our city, Mike Duggan, who is here today, came to me and asked me if Say Detroit could do anything with the many closed and abandoned rec centers here in the city. We visited more than 20 of them, and almost all were damaged or pillaged beyond repair. But we found one, Lipke Park, which had the bones, good bones. And from those bones, we built a living, breathing center that not only now caters to upwards of 300 kids a day, and not only offers first-class sports facilities, but even more importantly, education, opportunity, everything from STEM robotics to recording studios, and most importantly, hope. Hope. But not only all that, the center has boosted the neighborhood around it. People now want to live near a place where children are nurtured, because children are the heart of families, and families are the heart of communities, and communities are the heart of a city. A year before Mayor Duggan left office, last year or a little before, he came to me and said, "Hey, we're so proud of what you guys did at Lipke." And I said, "Thank you." And he said, "You've done some really amazing things there." And I said, "Thank you." And he said, "I'd really like you to do another one." And I said, "No, thank you." But when Mayor Duggan asks, he usually gets what he wants. And after searching around, here we are today to basically, as they say in basketball, run it again. Only this time we can avoid the learning curve and some of the herky-jerky steps of a first-time effort, and instead concentrate on doing things even bigger and better. And given that we are in 2026, not 2015, we'll be putting even more emphasis on technology, including introduction and access to careers in tech, as well as certificate training programs that lead to employment opportunities and computer labs, e-gaming resources and teams, drone training, makerspace, and IT training and certification. And with donors like Steve Ballmer aboard, you can bet that we'll be leaning even harder into tech equity and opportunity here in Detroit. In a second, several people, including Rick, our executive director, will lay out the actual dreams, but I just want to say that in American cities, dreams happen, but dreams stay dreams if you don't lock hands with other people to make them happen. You just can't do it by yourself in a city. And those people, many of them, are here. And I want to celebrate the incredible early philanthropy of our lead donors already, like Steve Ballmer, who we'll hear from in a minute, Gary Torgo and Huntington Bank, Roger Penske, who couldn't be here today but sent his regards, Wayne Weber, and many others who have managed to help us kick off this undertaking in this, not just this gym, but the whole space and the school building and the areas around it, with a startling $10 million in pledges already. That is a hefty number in the charity world. But at Say Detroit, we have always had a philosophy. We do not ever get into anything until we know we have at least half of the money already raised. And we are halfway there. Our goal for this incredible campus is a total of $20 million, which will cover not only all the construction and new things that we're building, but also the initial operating costs. So there's much more work to be done. We want to make sure that the Detroit youth we serve get the same great opportunities as kids in our wealthiest suburbs. When we did our center at Lipke Park, we did not say we're going to build a center that's good enough for the 48205, which was the most dangerous neighborhood in the United States of America at the time. We never say that. You don't build down, you build up. Because if you build down, people don't dream. You build up so people can aspire. So we wanted to build a center that people in West Bloomfield would walk into and go, wow, this place is something. And we're going to do the same thing here. So this is hallowed ground, and we hope to make it even more than hallowed ground. We hope to make it hopeful ground and helpful ground and a place of dreams. And I am very, very humbled to have so many of you here, from great athletes who have played here. Mayor Bing was recounting one of his games here down below, downstairs, and Vinnie Johnson from the Pistons, and Tom Izzo, who came all the way down from East Lansing, and to have three mayors. I don't know how many events get three mayors, but Mayor Bing and Mayor Duggan and Mayor Sheffield, our current wonderful mayor, all here in the same place. That's something. So you all have led Detroit, and we hope to serve Detroit, and I am very, very proud to kick this event off. Thank you for listening to me. And